Hello, everyone. We're going to be doing a much shorter show today. Sorry for being late. We're going to talk about the season two finale. I want to hear if you are hearing me. I seem to be having some mic troubles today. It has been one of those days, to be honest. I'm sure we all have them. It is my Wednesday started off great. I hope your Wednesday has started off great as well, and continues for the rest of the week and closing out this month. I see we already have 12 viewers. That was quick. I have more people on Instagram. They've been on the behind the scenes on Instagram checking things out. So please let me know if you're hearing me. That's the first thing I want to do. Today we're going to be reviewing this season. This is season two. Today is going to be the final episode of season two, and really focus on reviewing what we've actually been through. See, I get in a text. Let me see. Is this? And so, yep. Well, they haven't said if I hear it or not. So you. Oh, I left off. Oh. See, look at that. That's interesting. I love that. So Carol points out that I left off one of the. I left off. Guys, look at that. I land. See, I was in such a rush that we left off. I misspelled this thing. So welcome to Wednesday. I now have to go through and fix all of these live on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Thank you, Carol Beck, for sending that to me. I hope you guys are hearing me. Let me check that. I see some messages coming in. After I finish updating this, and I will check the messages. I hope you actually are hearing me this whole time. Ooh. Okay, so I have to remove LinkedIn and re-add it. And we're going to which other one? The island for YouTube is usually temporary. Wait a moment and then try. So, oof. So 3 comments. Yes, you can hear me. Everybody's hearing me. Great. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. So, hey, big up. I see Odessa in here. I see, Dwayne McIntosh in here as well. Kean, you're always here. Thank you very much. I'm glad to know that you guys are hearing. So, since this has been so much fun to get this up, if you were watching on Instagram, you saw all the behind the scenes. So today, the way I had planned my day was, a major call at 11 a.m. with our external general counsel and our chief operating officer. Figuring that I'll come over at about 12:30. I'm going to press space bar, bring the computer to life, which is what I usually do. It's sleeping, it's not off. And then I will load my usual things. And I wanted to even show some clips from, previous episodes this season and just do a finale. Today is the last one for the rest of the year. And then we're going to start showing content on social media, posting micro content from this last season, covering all the various topics and hopefully distilling it to the gems. So the meeting went over a little bit, and I decided, well, I still have enough time. It's so easy to get this set up. I have everything already plugged in. I just need to come over and press spacebar. So I came over at 15 minutes to 1, pressed spacebar, and the computer didn't turn on. What that means is that the computer is usually off. We had a thunderstorm yesterday. I'm in Orlando right now. Prayers to all of you in Jamaica. I saw amazing, that video of what happened down there. There's over $2 billion Jamaican dollars of damage is estimated to infrastructure, roads in particular. So, there has been loss of life. So, condolences to those families. It's very unfortunate, but we had a thunderstorm here in Florida as well, which means that we had a power surge, so the computer was knocked out, and it took me all of 20 minutes for the computer to boot up. It is 10 years old. I'm not going to pretend here. I'm not hiding or talking. 10 years old. This thing took a while to boot up, and that's why the show started so late. I had to come in, change out. It actually logs into my wife's account first by default. Then I have to go back and switch profiles. It is a Mac, but this is a 10-year-old Mac, which has lasted us a very long time. But is a spinning hard drive, not a solid state hard drive as well. It had to load up all the things that were open. I don't have that many programs open, but there were tabs open in the browser. So that's why I'm here today late. And I'm grateful that I'm not on a radio show every day or every week at 1 o'clock. I guess I would do it different, but this has been fun. I see I get in some some messages from people watching the show. So any questions you have, though, I wanted to share what did you like about this past season? Any topics that stood out for you? Any guests that stood out for you? I have my favorites, but look at this. I see Anna Toby. Let's pull up her comment. Right, Anna Toby is saying we need to build and develop more sustainably, and that is quite so. There's no question about that. It is unfortunate that Jamaica has taken that approach. Let me pull up my stuff here, but it's sad. That one hurt me, and I agree. I know we have a fundamental problem with following rules, and even then we don't even set some of the right rules down there, and nobody can deny that, right? We have to be smarter about development. We have to be smart about enforcing rules everywhere, but especially in the Caribbean, in Jamaica. We talk about having a discipline problem at times, and it causes issues. But we have to also admit that we have a fundamental problem with long-term development, right? We turn around and we look at things more for the short-term gain. So instead of building the road properly, thinking 20 years down the line, we don't do enough subsurface work, right? And we have to be honest, because the work that goes to these companies is beneficial from a political standpoint, and then some of that money then gets donated back into whichever political party is in power. This has been happening for decades, from before I born, and we know this. This is a open secret. So if we would just focus on doing things well once, you wouldn't have these kinds of problems. So now you have an unexpected $2 billion worth of damage to infrastructure because it wasn't built properly in the first place, such as drainage, right? So we say penny wise, pound foolish. Prevention is cheaper than cure. I mean, we know these things. They're instinctive. Keon is saying that the marijuana presentation / guest was quite enlightening. So that was Douglas Gordon, who was on here, and that one for me was also extremely enlightening. I think I learned the most from that one in terms of opportunities. To remind you of some of the others that we had, we had discussions about agriculture and the future of agriculture with Joseph Powell. We had a number of people, Nathaniel Pete, Kim Marie Spence, and so on, Odessa Chambers, to talk about black people of color in the UK, because we had that whole issue with that one. So that was another one that was really interesting to understand the difference between systemic discrimination and systematic discrimination. I still can't even define that for anybody else. I have to go back and watch the clip to get that one. It was a young lady from the UK that explained that one to us. So that one for me was also very memorable. But we tend to bring on, we had Carol Beckford, who is Bloomer Capital Senior Vice President for Sports and Entertainment. And she hopefully opened your eyes to the opportunities in the creative cultures and sports. She literally laid out examples. I've seen Kai here on Instagram posting some emoji and says a discussion on economic diversity, right? Diversifying Jamaica's economy and the Caribbean's economy was definitely a fun one. We had the post-COVID response document that we went through. I can pull it up again. That one was interesting because most people didn't know this document existed. So go back and check it out. I'm going to actually pull it up because we have all the videos available on YouTube. So youtube.com/Bloomer Capital Partners. They're also hosted on Jamaicans.com, and they're on Bloomer Capital's Facebook page as well. But it is exciting to see that. And I appreciate you guys who all participate, send comments, send questions. So more comments. You know what? Actually, we didn't get to big up where you're watching from. So big up where you're watching from, your country of origin as well. So let's shout out those people. Some of you have been loyal viewers during this season. I appreciate that. But give a shout out. I see here on Instagram, we actually have Trident 10 TV watching, which seems to be out of Barbados. So I know Barbados in there. Kai, I see Catherine is in here as well. So we got some Jamaicans in Jamaica on Instagram watching. Jason, Dwayne, Odessa right there. So Instagram is mainly people in Jamaica. I love that. Let me see, where else are you watching from, and where you're representing, and what makes you come and check out this show. Right? It has been a lot of fun to interact with you guys, and hopefully I bring something of value to you each time I do it. As I said, this will be the last one for the rest of the year live, unless I do a special end of year one. Keon, big up in Connecticut this week. Man, this guy, I can't keep up with this man. Pandemic or no pandemic, this man is in California 1 minute. He's in Connecticut this week. This guy is traveling. Big up to John, is in Trinidad and Tobago. Actually, part of our team, really appreciate that. He's in every Tuesday, every Wednesday. He works on some stuff for us. Jason Walker, also part of the team. Orlando via Atlanta via Jamaica, we should say. You can't leave out the Atlanta people, Jason. Big up ATL. Big up to Jason Walker. And in fact, because Jason is saying that, I want to give a shout out to Jason and the team who actually just helped Wilma's school in Jamaica to raise over $40,000 last week Sunday, doing an online show. Right, they did a nice little online live stream to try and raise money. Wayne Marshall was supporting these people, and it's unfortunate to hear that there were some people, some older heads, old guys that said they shouldn't do it. Instead of embracing change, embracing technology, and reaching out to the world, they actually said not to do it and didn't think it would work. And they were able to raise $40,000 for these schools in Jamaica to support young people, students who don't have access to the tablets and so on that they need to be able to do virtual school, because school is still virtual for the most part in Jamaica. I am fortunate where I am here in Orlando that my kids are actually physically in school. That's actually the only reason I can do this show right here in the middle of the day. They're in school, physical school, face to face. In Jamaica, it's not that way right now. So big up Anna Toby. I've known Anna so long. Anna is in Kingston. She's not Jamaican. I'm going to say that, but I love her. You need to big up where you come from too, Anna. Anna is amazing. I've known her from she was working at the Jane Foundation. And this is, Michael, big up the man from Mobile and him in Vegas. Wow. I mean, Vegas must be like Orlando right now, just almost no tourists. It must be so different to see what's going on over there. So interesting, but big up, stay safe. Well, hopefully things pick back up again. And Michael said this is an educational show for him. So I appreciate hearing that, because that is all that I can ask for. I just want to provide some sort of information that was new for you, get you thinking about something, get you researching something. So Michael, you just made my day. You probably made my week, because that's all I can ask for. If somebody says that this show is educational, then it's worth my time, and that's something that I value, is not wasting your time. So thank you for that, Michael. Anybody else, just tell me where you're watching from. Big up, more people on Instagram. Thank you for watching. Let me pull up. Kai saying she's always leaving with new knowledge. Oh, always leaving with new knowledge. I appreciate that, because I feel like it's an information dump sometimes, and I don't want to do that to people. So thankfully it's recorded, so you can go back and watch and take notes and research. But I really like sharing. And then Kai says, and also she leaves with new perspectives. And I like bringing on other guests for that, because my perspective is not the only perspective. My perspective is not necessarily right. It is just one perspective. And so, season 3, we definitely want to start getting some other people in here. I see Jamie Pretty is watching in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Thank you, Jamie, for tuning in, and I appreciate that comment as well. So this for me has been a lot of fun. There's no other way. I see JA Health Notice saying that Jamaica in South Florida at the moment. And so for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm David Mullings. I'm the founder, chairman, and CEO of Bloomahoe Capital Partners. And we are building a portfolio of public and private equities, mainly in the Caribbean, or with heavy exposure to the Caribbean. We're looking forward to being very public about some more things. And I can tell you the date, starting November 11th. This morning I was interviewed by University of Miami, which is my alma mater. Go Canes. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane. I'm going to be featured next month in the Alumni magazine. This is the second time that I'm being featured. First time was with my brother and I, so this is the first time alone. And it was fun. It was really energizing to have someone else who is not Jamaican, never been to Jamaica, to then love Jamaica and the wider Caribbean by the time that 1 hour interview is done. Right? And to ask, why are you doing this? Why are you giving back? How and so on. I love doing that, and I look forward to all the alumni of University of Miami reading that and then saying, oh, I didn't know that about Jamaica. Oh, I didn't think that about Jamaica or Barbados or Trinidad or even Miami, and why. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I let the cat out of the bag in that one for a number of things. We do have 2 secrets that we mentioned there, but I can't name the people. But it was exciting, and we will share that. So expect that. Marlene is saying she can't hear me. That's interesting. Keon is saying I second that. There's something new to be gained. Marlene, so everybody else said they can hear me. So maybe you should check your sound and we go from there, because if you can hear me, somebody like put a thumbs up, right? Just send me a thumbs up. Not on Instagram. I know you can hear me using a different mic. But on the live stream, put up that thumbs up. So let me see if I can. Let me see what I can load for you guys. I want to pull up some stuff and show you where to find the videos. Right? This is something that is important to me. See, maybe I shouldn't. That was a sign from the computer that I'm working it too hard, and I shouldn't try and pull up anything else. I see Howard saying he's good to hear me. So okay, Howard. So yeah, so Marlene, check on yours and see what's happening. But questions, I want some questions now. Any other topics that you want to see us cover in season 3? Right, this is now season 3. We've covered quite a few topics, but are there any other topics that you want me to cover? And I want to remind people it's called Island Forward, not Jamaica Forward. So I do now want to start taking this to more islands, and thankfully I expect to be traveling next year. So don't be surprised if we do Island Forward live from Jamaica, from Barbados, from the Bahamas, from Trinidad and Tobago. Let's see. So I'm getting all these thumbs up. That's great. Lots of thumbs up. Yeah, see, JA Health Nut is saying that have audio troubles all the time on FB Live. So Marlene, you never know. Sometimes maybe close Facebook and then close the tab and then start again and come back. We don't want to miss you. But guys, tell me some topics that you think you'd love for us to cover in season 3, and tell me any countries that you'd love us to visit in season 3. Just let's be clear. I'll be tested, so I'm not bringing COVID into your country from America. I just want to be very clear about that. I'm a responsible person, and of course I don't actually have to come to the country to do the video. I can sit here and have a guest from whichever country you want. So give me some recommendations, topics that you want us to cover in season 3. Countries you want us to get guests from in season 3. It's been extremely Jamaica heavy in these first 2 seasons. Let's spin that up. So I'm gonna say George saying hi. So hi George, respect. So you will now have an assignment, George, because he said hi. You need to tell me a topic you want me to cover or a country you want me to get a guest from for season 3. How about that? I love giving people homework. One of my investors sent me a WhatsApp 2 days ago about, there's an article that I saw as well. This had to do with the U.S. ambassador to Jamaica. Made some interesting comments about China and 5G. And so I pointed out to him something, and he said, man, he always points out that I read so much. This is somebody that's my father's age, so he's above 60. And he's always saying, oh, wow, your knowledge, so much. I was like, well, I read very widely. And then I asked him, I was like, have you read the book Startup Nation, which is about Israel? And he said, no, he hasn't read the book. And I said, oh, well, you need to read that book. And then if you combine that book with Lee Kuan Yew's, from third world to first, the story of Singapore, then you can understand how I see Jamaica and the wider Caribbean from an opportunity standpoint and what we could do in one generation. And he says, oh, he hasn't read either of them. So now he has 2 books that he needs to eventually read. And I said, great, you need to read those books before the end of November so I can come and sit down and discuss them with you. That's now your homework assignment. And he said he was really happy about me giving him a homework assignment. So I love giving people homework assignments. So if you're watching this show, that's going to be a homework assignment for season 3. Read Startup Nation about Israel and read Lee Kuan Yew's from third world to first, the Singapore story. And then we're going to be talking about that. I see Michael bringing up an interesting one, a topic about real estate investing in Jamaica. I guess we might have to vote on that one. I'm not too interested about real estate investing in Jamaica, and we don't invest in real estate in Jamaica on the Blue Mohawk Capital side. We do have a U.S. property fund that allows Caribbean investors to invest in the U.S., but we're not investing down there. But I could bring somebody on to talk about real estate investing in Jamaica, and we really should expand. I think you need to look at the whole Caribbean. Right? Jamaica is one option, but there's opportunities across the region: Guyana, Belize, Barbados, Cayman, Trinidad and Tobago in particular. Here's Kean. Topic 1: Caribbean pros and cons. Man, geez, look here, man. Floyd Green on the show. That is someone that I intend to definitely have on here. Floyd, thank you for coming in. Congrats on re-election as well. He is slated to venture beyond the show. He's Jamaica's new Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, right? MICAF. So we have to talk to someone that I've known Floyd now since he was at university, quite a long time. So I love this one, Kean. One Caribbean pros and cons. I'm going to need to bring on some diplomats to help with this one, not just us, economists, diplomats. That's going to be a really, really interesting topic. Here's a topic. J.A. Healthnut is saying, what do you think the way forward for the Caribbean in terms of tourism is? So I can talk a little bit about that here, but that's a topic we need to bring somebody on for. And in the region's heavy reliance on tourism. So we could get some tourism ministers. We could bring in, somebody like an Adam Stewart, a good friend of mine. So on the tourism side, what I would say is that the problem isn't that the countries are too reliant on tourism. The countries are too reliant on one specific type of tourism. And so that's predominantly white American tourists coming to the Caribbean. That's what I'm mainly focusing on, all-inclusives. It needs to expand beyond that. So you need to be looking at heritage tourism. You need to be targeting things like Black Americans wanting to come to the Caribbean and learn about that culture and the slave history there. We want to be targeting people from an environmental tourism standpoint. Look at the Kingdom of Bhutan. That was the example I used when I wrote a column 10 years ago in the Jamaica Observer. So there's opportunity around that. Jamaica is the land of wood and water. Costa Rica has been doing it really good. They are a closer lesson at home to Bhutan, but we need to be doing more of that. Protect the environment, leverage that for capital, and Belize is also a good opportunity for that. A lot of the islands don't have jungle, but Jamaica, Belize, Guyana can benefit from that. We have cultural tourism is massively overlooked. Right, you're looking at Trenchtown, for example. Bob Marley Museum, what happens here? Kingston Creative is doing things in downtown Kingston. Full disclosure, I am on the board of advisors of Kingston Creative, and that's an opportunity. The same way that people go to Trinidad and Tobago for Carnival, that's cultural tourism, right? You're going to go for, you're going to Grenada. We have carnivals all over the Caribbean. People come for that. There's more they can come for. The food and culture are big parts of what people know us for and should know us for even more. So come there to see that, not just around carnival. So those will be some of my things. Yes, I want us to expand beyond tourism. We shouldn't just have tourism, but tourism is important and tourism is viable. But we can build on that. Let's differentiate the tourism and have more kinds of tourists. But then let's also make sure that we build up other industries as well. There was a recent interview where I pointed out that Jamaica essentially went from relying on one thing, sugar, to then relying on one thing, banana, to then relying on one thing, bauxite, to then tourism. That's not a healthy way to build an economy. It's not a healthy way to build a country, right? You don't build a company that way either. If you're too focused on one thing and that leg get licked off, the stool collapse, right? You can't build a stable stool with one leg. You need at least 3 legs, preferably 4. For that stool or that chair to be stable. So let's figure out the 4 legs that you want economies to be built on. So I see Jason here saying that, Jason is saying a topic he would love is the state of Barbados economy and its future in what industries. So I love that one because we do have some Barbadian investors, and actually one of our incoming directors is based in Barbados. So she will be the guest on that one. And don't be surprised if we manage to get somebody like Mia Mottley to participate. The Prime Minister, she's been doing an amazing job. I pretty much think of her as a leader of the Caribbean, really progressive. Barbados is a great one. I think Jamaicans overlook what Barbados has accomplished. Barbados is one of the only developed countries in the Caribbean, recognized as such. Cayman is one of the other ones. I'm constantly impressed when I visit Barbados with the business people, with the culture. As always, it's not perfect. There's always opportunity and room for improvement. But Barbados is somewhere that has a special place in my heart. And yes, I do like Banks Beer and I do like Mount Gay rum. Don't fight me out. Appleton is great. Red Stripe is great. I prefer Red Stripe Light. But you have to give props to Barbados. And I think is an overlooked economy. And they've gone through some stuff. They're going through stuff that Jamaica went through. Now is when you want to be looking at Barbados. When it's the same way when Jamaica was going through their dip, right? And they had their debt issues, and so we had to have the IMF come in. If you had invested in Jamaica at that point in time, when the IMF came in and it held for the next 5 years, and that's when Jamaica became the best performing stock exchange over 5 years in the whole world. So Barbados, I think, is being overlooked. Here on Instagram, I seen Dree Bentley saying another topic: Antigua and Barbuda. What does investing in their market look like? Wow. So we're going to have to bring in somebody else, because I haven't invested in Antigua and Barbuda, and we're not even directly looking at them just yet. We're looking at a deal in Grenada, I can tell you that. But Carol Beckford actually lived and worked in Antigua, so she could come in and talk about that. But yeah, let me find somebody so we can get into Antigua and Barbuda. A lot of people forget that they're twin islands, so they just think Antigua. But Antigua and Barbuda, it has been ups and downs, based on what I can see. I would be honest that based on the political situation over there, it seems to be less welcoming of outside capital. So let's get somebody on the talk though, and tell us if the perception is different from reality, because that's the important one. Is the perception different from reality? I've seen J.A. Health Nut back on Instagram saying, traditionally, we have only seen efforts to encourage the diaspora to invest in Jamaica, primarily in real estate. And he was encouraged to learn of Bloomerho's push to get us to invest differently. And so I appreciate that, because I agree. I am tired of only being talked to about mortgages and buying second homes or buying homes to return to in Jamaica. Real estate is only a tiny part of anybody's portfolio. Every wealthy person I know through the Family Office Association I'm a member of has real estate as just a sliver, a part of their portfolio, right? They're publicly traded stocks. And then private stocks, private equity is a part of that. Venture capital is another part of that as well. The alternative assets part of their portfolio is something we don't talk about enough. So, we are focused with Bloomer Capital on diaspora direct investment, but across the spectrum, excluding real estate. We do not intend to invest in real estate back into Jamaica or the Caribbean. There's enough property funds in the region doing that. You buy their stock. If we want, we could just buy their stock as well. I don't think we need to do that one. Let's stick to public and private companies is what we want to focus on, where we can create significantly more value. We can export something, whether products or services. Real estate cannot be exported, so it's a bit harder to generate the kind of returns we are looking for in real estate, unless you're doing improvement. But not to say there's not good money to be made. There's great money to be made. I've never worked in real estate. I worked, we've done early stage investing. I worked for a hedge fund and I worked in private equity. So I'll stick to what I know. And Jason is saying opportunities in the Caribbean from North America. So he's being very specific, not just opportunities in the Caribbean. He wants us to cover the topic of opportunities in the Caribbean from North America. So I like how he's being so specific. That is really interesting. I have to think very hard about that one, Jason. Thank you for the homework. And then we have Howard Kalash is saying alternative technologies within public and private transportation. For example, Barbados currently has a new fleet of electric buses running on routes. Would this be something that can be replicated in other parts of the Caribbean? And that's funny. Dree Bentley, right on Instagram, is saying topics investing in EV automotive market. So Howard and Dree, both of you thinking the same thing at the same time. And this is an important topic because in the Caribbean, we have to be worried about, climate resilience, climate change, rising sea levels, decarbonizing the economy. So that's really good. That's a topic we'll have to cover. And in fact, I will get the person to be a guest on my show who helped to put together the deal for Barbados to get those electric buses. I won't give you his name right now, but yeah, it's not a coincidence, Drew. It's two smart people watching the show, so I don't even say coincidence, man. It's great. So we're excited about that. Angela, he says echoing. I hope I can't do much there. I don't think. But guys, we're coming up onto the end. I was the one who started late. Obviously, that is entirely my fault. I am so sorry, but at the same time, I don't mind. I think everything happens for a reason. Chris Valdez is saying on Instagram that I think real estate can actually be exported. Look at Airbnb. Started in the US and now it has crossed its borders into other countries. But you see, Chris, that is not real estate being exported. That's a platform being exported. So we could invest in a platform that facilitates that stuff. But investing in Airbnb is not the same as investing in real estate, right? You either invest in the company Airbnb, or you want to own real estate that is listed on the Airbnb. I can't pick up that real estate and move it from Jamaica to Cayman, right? Or move it from Beckway to Barbados. So I'm mindful of that. Also, whereas a company can grow 5x in 1 year because it secures a whole bunch of new customers or new markets, real estate, I can't do that with, right? The property is fixed. I can fix it up. I might be able to expand it. I can add more stories. But as always, invest in what you understand, stick to what you know. And for me, that is going to be in the private equity and public equities world. We have some real estate people. And we have some real estate people join us for our property fund, which is US-based because we're in the US. We think we have experts in the Caribbean that we would just buy into their property fund, trust them to continue doing what they're doing. You guys can look at them. We can always, as I said, we can have them on the show. Somebody wants a topic about investing in real estate in Jamaica, we'll bring on the CEO of one of those property companies or more than one, so you get multiple views. So that's what you guys want. That's what you guys are going to get, right? I love that. So as we're wrapping up, guys, anything else you want to say before we close out? It is now 2:00. We're at the break. Instagram is about to be going off. 35 seconds left there. And I don't have to rush and sign off just yet on the big stream on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, guys. Thank you as always for tuning in. I appreciate your time. I know that time is precious. And when you take 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour out of your day to hear my voice and see my little face, I don't take it for granted, and I hope that I leave you better off than when you came in. Hopefully leave some little piece of information, some additional perspective for you to then put that into your day, and I leave some positivity. So bye to Instagram, and I have you guys over here with no problem. And say anything before I leave. As I said, this is going to be the final episode, most likely of the year, so that we can close out the season. We can spend time working in these topics you guys have asked me for. I get to see them listed here, so that's great. I think we have some excellent topics for season 2. Jason Walker will working on the guests. Oh, look at this. I would like to hear follow-ups on past episodes. I like this. So we're going to have like a where are they now? Yeah, we could definitely do one episode like that next season where we had these people on and we can just go through where are they now with what has happened. That's going to be a lot of fun to do that one. I like this. You see, I feel like almost cheating and letting you guys give me the ideas that we're making those, but it's great. I want to make sure that we deliver what you want and that you get value out of this. Right? I'm just here to be a facilitator in some way and get you the information you want. If you come up with any other topics or any other ideas, if you're watching this and it's not live, you're watching the recorded version, and so you want to suggest countries you want us to get guests from, or you want to suggest topics for season 3 of Island Forward, then email us. You can email us at press @bluemahocapital.com. Our website is bluemahocapital.com. You can go to the contact page as well, fill it out. send us some ideas, and we'll do our best to bring those people on so that we can get you the knowledge and the information that you want to get. That's the whole idea. We are here to simply be facilitators and help you. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. I do not take your time for granted. Please be safe, especially the people in Jamaica with the thunderstorms, the flooding. You are in our prayers, and if anybody has lost anyone, condolences to all of you. And please don't forget, we still have a pandemic going on, so wear your mask. Take the precautions. If you don't have to go, don't go. When you don't have to, and make sure you say love you to the people that you love. You never know who needs to hear that today. Don't wait until something happens to then say it to them. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. I appreciate that. Angela, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support. And I appreciate it. So guys, we're going to end the broadcast now. We're going to tune out 30 minutes. Love it. Really appreciate it. Season 2 was a tremendous amount of fun to produce. Let us see what season 3 looks like and how the set is going to change, because the set will change. We keep learning from this. But thank you so much. It has been my pleasure to bring knowledge and perspective into your lives for the last few weeks, few months. And thank you again to Jamaicans.com for being a media partner for this, to give us a pretty large reach. And I appreciate that. So thank you guys. One love.